Cece, one word to describe today.
Only one word. Unreal. That's fire. Honestly, unreal.
When Caitlin Clark stepped back onto the Carver-Hawkeye Arena floor, it wasn't just a moment. It was a phenomenon. 7 months after her last collegiate game, Clark returned, not as a college superstar, but as a WNBA pro, carrying with her the weight of expectation, the hope of a franchise, and the love of a city that raised her into a legend. From the moment the lights dimmed for player introductions, it was clear this night would be different. The crowd, packed wall to wall, erupted with thunderous applause and cheers that reached 116 decibels, louder than many NFL stadiums on game day. And this was before she even touched a basketball. The noise wasn't just excitement. It was gratitude, pride, and awe all tangled into one breathtaking roar. For those lucky enough to be inside the arena, the air buzzed with electricity. And for those watching from afar, the energy jumped off the screen. Then came the shot. A 36-foot three-pointer from the exact spot where she broke Kelsey Plum's NCAA scoring record. The ball arced through the air like it was meant to be there, and when it swished through the net, without even grazing the rim, the entire arena shook. Carver-Hawkeye had seen its share of greatness, but nothing like this. The prodigal star wasn't just returning. She was ascending to a new chapter. Carver-Hawkeye Arena isn't just a gym. It's a temple of transformation. It's where Clark evolved from a promising freshman to a national icon, changing the landscape of women's basketball. She didn't just break records there. She made the sport must-see TV. Her connection to the arena and the fans goes beyond stats and trophies. It's emotional. It's personal. As Clark herself put it, "This place means a lot to me. We've had so many amazing games here. To be back and introduce my teammates to this kind of support, it's really special." Fans understood that. That's why they lined up hours before the game. That's why they paid an average of $670 for tickets to a preseason game that wouldn't even count in the standings. That's why they stood in May weather, hoping just to breathe the same air as their hero. Iowa City isn't just corn and college football. It's a hidden gem of college culture, and Caitlin Clark made sure her new Indiana Fever teammates knew that. "My teammates expect it to be cornfields," she joked. "But downtown Iowa City is where it's at. It's one of the best college towns, period." That blend of charm, pride, and community made the game more than just basketball. It was a cultural event, an emotional return, a town and its prodigy, reunited on sacred hardwood. From the opening tip, the energy didn't drop. Clark settled into her old rhythm like she had never left. Her passes were crisp, her court vision unmatched, and her signature smile ever present. The Brazilian national team had no answer for the Fever's offensive flow, orchestrated by Clark with effortless grace. The play that defined the night? Late in the third quarter, Clark crossed half court, dribbled 3 times, and fired from the logo, 36 feet away. It was the exact same spot where she made history in her senior year. The result? A clean swish, a deafening cheer, and a subtle point to the crowd, as if to say, "I'm back, and I'm only getting started." Teammates joked with her afterward. When Clark asked if the crowd got loud after her shot, Sophie Cunningham teased, "No one really cared." Lexi Hull grinned and echoed the joke, but they knew the truth. The crowd's reaction hit 117 dB. Players said they could feel it in their chests. The sound wasn't just noise. It was an outpouring of love, loyalty, and unfiltered joy. This wasn't just about basketball. It was about a shared journey between an athlete and her community. "When I tell them to get up, they get up," Clark said. "That's what makes this place special." While the spotlight often focuses on Clark, what happened on the court spoke volumes about the Indiana Fever as a team. Coach Stephanie White's squad looked sharper, faster, more cohesive than anything seen last season. The Fever's 108-44 demolition of Brazil was a message. This isn't just Clark's team. It's a unit with chemistry, depth, and ambition. Aaliyah Boston, Clark's frontcourt partner, was particularly impressive. Her 11 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists hinted at a two-woman game that could anchor the franchise for years. Kelsey Mitchell added 17 points and 3 steals, showing the scoring punch that makes her such a valuable asset. Hull and Cunningham did the little things: spacing, defense, hustle. that don't always make headlines but win games. From Dana Bonner's energy to Sydney Coulson's behind-the-back flashiness, the entire roster looked transformed. This wasn't just a good night. It was the first real glimpse of a team that could make noise in 2025. The Caitlin Clark who stepped onto the court wasn't the same player who left 7 months ago. She was stronger, literally and mentally. Plays that might have sent her flying as a rookie now ended with buckets and confident jogs back on defense. Her added muscle helped her absorb contact, while her patience and poise elevated her decision-making. One pass, in particular, stood out. A threading dime between two defenders to Aaliyah Boston in perfect stride. Another no-look to Mitchell in the corner landed right in the shooting pocket. The skill was still there. But the maturity? That's what elevated everything. I think it's hard to put into words what this means, Clark said post-game. It's almost overwhelming. I'm just so thankful to be back and to share this with my family. As Clark finally checked out of the game, the crowd gave her a standing ovation that seemed to stretch for eternity. Fans of all ages, especially young girls clutching signs, balls, and posters, rose to their feet to honor not just the athlete, but the role model. She returned their cheers with waves, smiles, and gratitude. After the game, she embraced former Iowa staff, visibly emotional. In her post-game interview, she summed it all up. These fans have always had my back. This is home. The final score, 108-44, will be recorded in the books. But numbers can't capture what truly happened in that building. This wasn't a win. It was a turning point. It was the start of something massive for the WNBA. Beyond the highlights and heartwarming reunions, the real takeaway was what Indiana Fever fans witnessed, a vision for the future. This team wasn't just playing for fun. They were laying bricks, building a culture. Coach White said it best, "We want to be the best, and we don't waste time in practice." These players compete. They push each other. They want to win. It showed. The ball moved fluidly. The defense swarmed. The bench celebrated every play. And at the center of it all, Caitlin Clark, not as a one-woman show, but as the heartbeat of a team determined to rise. This night wasn't just a return for Clark. It was a call to action. It reminded the world that women's basketball is not only alive but thriving. The long lines outside Carver-Hawkeye, the record-breaking noise, and the explosive performance on the court all point to one truth. This sport is changing, and it's changing now. Clark is more than a scorer or a passer. She's a symbol of progress, of excellence, of what's possible when community, talent, and opportunity collide. And she knows it. Even if I scored 0, they'd still be there cheering, Clark said about her fans. That really puts it all into perspective. There's a lot more to life than basketball. And yet, it's basketball that brought this night together. A game that became something sacred. A moment that will live forever in Iowa's history and possibly reshape the WNBA's future. As the Indiana Fever prepare for the 2025 season, the momentum is undeniable. The chemistry is clicking. The players are hungry. And Clark, she's not just back. She's better, stronger, and more impactful than ever. When she waved goodbye to the crowd at Carver-Hawkeye Arena, it wasn't a farewell. It was a promise. A silent vow that the journey is only beginning. Because for Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, this season isn't just about basketball. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more updates. Thanks for watching.